Sounded like you guys liked it. Was it worth the wait?
Yeah!
Excellent. My name is Jarwise. I'm not going to go into a whole song and dance. Let's just get them out here. First up, executive producer Vaun, Wilmott. Executive producer Michael Horowitz. The newest member of the Prison Break family, Inbar Lavi. One half of TV's best band of brothers, Dominic Purcell. And last but not least, Wentworth Miller. For being here. We've been waiting 7 years for you. Dominic, Wentworth, I want to start with you. I mean, is it strange to be at a Prison Break panel in 2017?
Yes.
I mean, I know, we had talked when you guys were on The Flash, and this... And I think, for fans, seeing you back on screen together was a moment of like, oh, we want more of this. Did you feel like reuniting on that show sparked an interest in both of you in looking at these characters again?
I don't think so. Wentworth and I were working together on Flash, and we were reminiscing about Prison Break. And we just discovered and realized that there was more to tell. As long as we were paying service to the legend of Prison Break. We weren't just going to go and revisit for the sake of revisiting it. And it just so happened at the time Fox were also interested in doing a reboot. I think it had more to do with the Netflix generation, actually. The show has remained relevant and hasn't diminished. And I think that's indicative of a classic. Or classic movies, they have a timeless quality to them.
Absolutely. I mean, Wentworth, talking about that, if you were going to revisit Michael Scofield and revisit this world, what was important to you that you got to do with the character, or that you didn't do with the character besides self-resurrecting?
Yeah. I just knew that my job was to bring my heart and soul each day, every scene, because the idea was to not just tell a story, but to tell it well, to create something that could stand alongside what came before, because otherwise, why bother?
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to turn to the writers. That is a phenomenal task that is sort of set before you, to live up to this show that at least everyone in this room loved, and far beyond it, judging from the millions of likes the trailer has on Facebook. I mean, when you sat down to craft these new stories, I mean, where do you even begin?
For me, I was a huge fan of the original series. I wasn't involved in the original series. And Paul Shearing, the man that created the show, I think like Dom and Wentworth felt like if we were going to do it again, it had to be special, it had to be unique, it had to feel like it was worthy. And he came up with an idea that I think got us all really, really excited. And it was really a privilege and an honor to write a couple of those episodes.
Absolutely. I mean, Michael, for you, the show has such a long list of characters that the fans love, who you sort of had your choice to pick from and to look at. I mean, what was it like thinking about who you wanted to return in terms of these characters that people love?
Yeah, well, that was a giant challenge, is we had to figure out, once Paul had this amazing Bible that was about 70-something pages that took you through the story. And we really wanted to service all the characters, from the original series that we loved. And we wanted everybody in there, but you don't want to just shoehorn people in there either. And you want to tell the story and be true to it. And so, you've got to do the brothers, and you've got to do Sarah, and you know that. And then you're trying to figure out what else you can put in there.
Absolutely. One of those things you got to put in there was Sheba. Inbar, what was it about this character? We see very little of her in the pilot, but spoiler alert, having seen other episodes, she's pretty kick-ass. I mean, what was it about this woman that you were excited to play?
I think a kick-ass woman is exciting. And I find it very important to give voice to the people of Yemen. They have to struggle every single day. They're in the midst of a very serious civil war, have been for a while, and I feel a huge responsibility to tell that story, and we're very lucky that Fox has been brave enough to shed some light on that area.
Absolutely. I mean, Dominic, let me ask you, you talked about working together on Flash with Wentworth. Did it feel differently when you were re-inhabiting Lincoln to work opposite him?
It's a good question. Not really. I mean, I know Wentworth very, very well. He's one of my closest friends, and I love him dearly. So that transition wasn't difficult for me at all.
What about finding the character again, Wentworth? Did you need to do anything different to re-engage with Michael Scofield than you did other characters you've played over the years?
Michael Scofield lives in me, and I think always will, courtesy of playing him for 4 seasons. But I'm a different man now. I'm 44. When we shot the original, I was 33, 34. So I knew that I had a whole lot of life experience to bring to the table, and I think that is one of the things that I'm really satisfied to see on screen is that Michael looks like he's seen some shit. And that's reflective of the fact that I have too. I found a new way to kind of put my stuff in that container, which was familiar to me, but repurposed now in a way that I found really satisfying and affirming as an actor.
Absolutely. Well, I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask some questions, so I believe there are some microphones if you have anything you want to ask. Before we do that, what we've talked about is that there are a lot of people who help make Prison Break, and one of those people couldn't be here today, but they sent a little message in their stead, so why don't we roll that?
What's up, Wondercon? It's Sarah. Just saying hi and thank you for being here. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person with you. I'm on location shooting in Texas today. But you got a lot of people with you that I love very much and who've done some beautiful work. I'm excited for you to see it, and I hope you enjoy the show. Ciao.
And with that, we'll go to our first question.
Hi, my question is for Wentworth. In Flash, or actually in Legends of Tomorrow, there was a moment where you got to see your younger self. It was a very interesting dynamic. I wanted to know, with having Michael and little Michael, are we going to see some more dynamic of you working with a young person who's quite like you and seeing the dynamic of father and son?
Well, I can't give certain things away, of course. But Michael is first and foremost about family, and I think the show is as well. The bond between the brothers, and then Michael and Sarah become a family of sorts. I think it's what gives the show its beating heart, and knowing that his son is out there somewhere, being raised.
New season
by
comes
someone
this
else
Tuesday on Fox.
is part of the fuel in Michael's tank. It's what motivates him to get out of this hellish predicament.
Thank you.
Hi, this is for these two guys over here. How much of you are in these characters?
There's certainly quite a lot of me in Lincoln. But yeah, there's a well there that I can easily draw from, put it that way.
There's a lot of me in Michael. Like I said, he's one of the containers in which I can put my stuff. It is an excuse to do and say inappropriate things. That's what my acting coach used to say about acting. And I get to live out through Michael scenarios that I would never want to live out myself. But it does challenge me to start thinking about that question. What would I do for a loved one? How far would I go? And I think that's something that the audience gets to participate in as well. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris. I just wanted to share that when I was still watching season 1, I had 0 tattoos, and now I have a full sleeve and chest piece. So, Wentworth, how was it like getting back into getting those tats every episode?
It's
Painful.
it's an investment. It's an extra 45 minutes in the chair every morning for the new set of tattoos. New season, new tattoos, serving a very different purpose. But that bit of business is one of the things that set the show apart originally, and I think it sets us apart this time. It leads up to a very cool reveal, which I'm excited to share with you.
I have to say, I mean, I would watch him go through that process every single day, and you know, I would be off. He would get into the trailer, start the process. I would go have lunch, swim in the pool, hang out with my friends, do some push-ups, and then show up. He's still in the chair, and you were such a trooper, and it's a lot. It really, really, really takes a lot of patience, and you're one of the more patient people I know. So here's to you.
Thank you.
All right, so I gotta say, you guys are 2 of the greatest actors I've ever seen, and I want to specifically ask about the scene where you open up the grave, because I think that's your best performance that you've ever done, to me personally. And I want to talk about performing that scene and also writing that scene. I'd love to just know what went into that, because it's a really emotionally charged scene, so I'd love to hear all about that. And also, Inbar, I think you're going to be great too, so yeah!
Well, it was late at night. I was preparing for that scene, because it's very important, obviously. I just imagined, as an actor, you sometimes have to go to places where you don't want to go to. And I just kind of used my own personal well, if you like, and just let it happen. And we got it done. I think it was within 2 takes.
Yeah, Paul Shearing, the creator of the show, he wrote that episode, and I think it is a really powerful moment. I think for returning to the series after 7 years, it is so meaningful, and I think that Dom is really powerful in that moment, because not only is he a great actor, but also he really does have these deep feelings for Wentworth, and they have that bond, and it really comes across on camera. And it was cold that night. So cold.
Hi, this question is for the guys Dominic and Wentworth. I was just wondering which episode was most meaningful to you or emotional for you?
I'm not sure what episode it comes in, but when I'm not even coming out to reveal.
Good question, guys.
Just say it, it's fine. No one's listening. It's okay.
It's just between us.
Yeah, it's just you and 1,000 of your closest friends.
I'm not allowed to answer.
I think it was definitely the reunion moments. It's what I was looking forward to. I think it's probably what fans are looking forward to. Michael and Lincoln, Michael and Teabag. Gibbs who dies. That was the satisfying kind of homecoming part.
And you know, I didn't really get to see them throughout the first season. So I mean the original 4 seasons, and I got to see them reunite for the first time on set. Well, I mean, you guys had The Flash, but on the set of Prison Break for the first time I was there, and I got to see them embrace, and it was so powerful and moving, and you know, it was really, really beautiful to watch. I was kind of like, ugh, get a room, but but no, you guys, there's a reason why it works. The chemistry is really nice to be a part of.
Hi.
We just walked in.
Hi, I just have a question for Wilmott and Dominic.
Yes, sir.
What was it like the first day back on the set of Prison Break?
It was beautiful. Prison Break is very close to my heart. It's provided me with opportunities that I wouldn't ordinarily have had. It's got my kids through school and continues to got my kids through college. No, I'm very grateful. It's not often that an actor gets to experience something that is well received as Prison Break.
It was surreal for me because I'm calling this man Link again. A week before, I was calling him Mick. Bit of an adjustment, but overall, I felt gratitude because what a rare thing as an actor to be able to go back and revisit a part that was meaningful to you and work again with people that you love and have a shorthand with. Also thankful for the fans who made this possible. I mean, you guys are why we're doing what we're doing. These episodes are for you and we're inspired by you and we were thinking about you every day in terms of setting the bar high and not wanting to disappoint. I don't think we did.
No.
Go out on a limb and say that.
All right, this is going to be our last question, unfortunately.
Hi, I was always curious, what kind of reaction did you get with the original series with correction officers? What kind of comments?
Fortunately, I never encountered correctional officers.